everybody. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. Hello, 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 hello. A quick visual descriptor before we get going. I have long brown hair, glasses, I'm wearing a blue shirt, a silver bracelet, a coffee mug in hand. Behind me are some wonderful trees. You can hear some bugs making insect music in the distance, and the river is flowing way back there. And we are in the gazebo in the public park space on what seems to be a sunny, lovely morning. I hope you have your coffee, tea, whatever it may be, whatever gets your day going. I'm coming to you on Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube via Restream. That's a good cup of comfort. Go ahead, grab yourself a cuppa, and let's have a little conversation. That's an important one. Are you making time for breaks? Are you making time for taking time off? I mean, there's a good reason I ask. For one, if you're a professional, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a creator, we're in a constant hustle and grind. We're supposed to be moving, producing, putting stuff out. The algorithms demand content. Clients demand projects. Our schedules and our pocketbooks demand that we work, that we are doing. It's an unfortunate situation where we're pinned between feeling an obligation to do, to work, to create, to make, to be pushing ourselves out there, while at the same time wondering why we never get any rest. And if you're not getting any rest, well, what's the point of all this work? What's the point of putting ourselves on the front line of business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, as if we don't need to rest at all? People end up suffering from burnout. They lose interest. They break down. That's just the way people are. I myself have been an online creator now for a very, very long time. I mean, in the terms of the internet, I'm a fossil. Creating online content since the 2000s, trying to push my business forward for a long time. And when you start actually thinking about the fact that, maybe you've been in the game for 5, 10, 15 years, maybe more, maybe you're tired. Now, quick story. I have a YouTube channel, Robot Queen Studios. It's one of my older channels, and I took a break from Robot Queen Studios for a few years. I produced hundreds of videos. I got enough followers and subscribers way back then that I could monetize my channel. The problem was I couldn't keep it up. I was putting out so much content. I was creating videos that were sometimes individualized birthday messages to my subscribers. I was trying to involve my community. I was getting on to chat sites, and at that time, I think it was called Ventrio, which was like a voice chat thing where you could have a whole bunch of people together and you could talk. I was involved in my community. I was heavily involved with trying to create lots of new content. I was also a business So I had to satisfy clients and customers. And it got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. So I stepped back. And after I stepped back, I can't even say that I felt relief. I just felt like I had failed. I failed because I had to step away. And years started to roll on and I hadn't returned, but I was working on other things because, as I said, I felt like I failed. So I was trying to work on my books and my art and so many other things. I was putting myself in a position where I was still working, sometimes way too much. Morning over there on Twitch, so glad to have you here. And because I was doing that, when I finally got around to it, to really relaunching myself. Now, of course, I put out some books in that interim time, and then in 2018 I put out a couple more books, but I didn't properly return to being a video creator until almost 2020. Now, in 2019, I started to make some videos and I started to spread myself out to more social media, but it wasn't until 2020 that I really rolled in, dived back headfirst into being a creator and also an entrepreneur and having a business. My point is, I ended up taking a really long time off and just had a bunch of day jobs. I burnt myself out. Now, this is not necessarily an extreme stand, but it is the far end of burnout, where you just don't know what to do anymore, and you don't want to, and you can't. So, are you taking time for breaks? You might be an entrepreneur right now, and maybe you have a job for another company, and then you have your own business, and this can be very taxing. So, you're putting yourself in a position where you're, again, always working. So, are you taking weekends off? Are you scheduling vacations? Are you having nights where you just sit down, maybe play a video game, or have dinner with family? We are always in the hustle and bustle. We're always in the grind. But you can't stay there. It is a balance. I recently saw someone create a post on LinkedIn, which I'm going to not say who it was, but I'm going to quote part of it, which actually I won't quote it, I'll summarize it. They were saying that taking a long vacation shows people they don't need you. And it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. It was, if you take a few weeks of vacation for yourself, the company you work for is going to see how little they need you. Don't do that. No, no, no. Let's not listen to that advice. Let's go ahead and take as long of a vacation as we need. If you want to take 3 days off or you want to take 3 weeks off, for you, that's self-care. That keeps you going. Do it. And don't be afraid. Don't be worried that you're doing something wrong. Let's be fair. Time for ourselves is never something wrong. Never. And it doesn't have to be these big vacations, and it doesn't have to be long weekends. What it can be, though, is an hour, 2 hours every day where you set aside all concerns about work and what you should be doing, and you just do something that makes you happy. Sit down and play some music, or drink. Wake up in the morning, and instead of looking at your emails or grabbing your phone, do some yoga. Go for a run if that makes you happy. Drive out of your way early in the morning get breakfast someplace, feel relaxed. Pick up a coloring book. Go take a dance class because, frankly, you want to, and you can't think of any reason other than, well, you could be using that time and money for your business. Well, you could be using that time and money for you. Rent a cabin in the mountains. Grab a backpack and a tent. Drive out to a beach somewhere. Crawl out on the sand. Swim in lake or ocean or whatever it is. But remember, you need to make time for breaks. And you have to remember that you cannot put yourself down for taking them. And I know that some of us do. We feel guilty doing something for us. Oh, I should have been working. Oh, I should have cleaned the house. I should have answered all those emails. I should have called back those clients. No. And don't be afraid to make a hard line of when your business hours stop. I hear from people who work in certain fields that a client will call them at like 6, 7, 8 at night, and they'll answer the phone and they'll take a business call. And why would you do that to yourself? That's your time. That's your time. And you should be using that time for you. Take your dog for a walk. Go to a park. Read a book that you've been dying to read. Take the family to a movie theater. But make time for breaks. We wear long work week hours like a badge of honor. I work 70 hours a week. I work 80 hours a week. I work 90 hours a week. I work 7 days a week. That badge of honor comes with the weight of the consequences of doing that to yourself, physically, mentally. So consider, if you will, swapping that badge of honor out for, I left work early and then went to play laser tag, even though I'm an adult. Swap that badge of honor out for, I laid in bed all Saturday morning. I got up to get some coffee, but otherwise, I slept until 10. Consider the possibility that doing something small for you is a good thing. We should be encouraged to do it. Now, get yourself an extra cup of coffee, tea, whatever it may be, whatever makes your day absolutely wonderful, and whatever you wish to be drinking. I have my coffee. Absolutely lovely. Another little sip. And before I get going today, I just want to share with you a link. It's going to be somewhere nearby. It's for one of my stories available through Kindle Vella. Now, Kindle Vella was launched last year by Amazon, and it's a way for authors to release their stories in little chunks called episodes. And you can go ahead and read tons and tons and tons of different authors on Kindle Vella. The first 3 episodes of any story are free, and you only have to pay after that. So you have a chance to see if you like it. Really simple. But I have a few stories there. There's going to be a link somewhere nearby for 30 Days in the Apocalypse with Dr. Ciencio Magnifico. And all I'm going to say is please, please go check it out. It is a sci-fi apocalypse comedy revolving around the concept of internet celebrities in an apocalyptic world who are trying to gather clout and likes and subscribers, all while battling the end of the world. It's a whole lot of fun. It gets really funny. There's some action. It's a little bit of a dark comedy because there are zombies and monsters, but it's fun. And if you check out 30 Days in the Apocalypse, please use the wonderful features they have there. Follow the story, like the story, and leave a review, because you can leave a review as soon as you're done reading an episode. I would appreciate it so much, and it would help me out if you would. But I'm going to wish you the absolute best. Be excellent. Take care. Stay awesome. Get your cuppa. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye, everybody.